My name is Calva Doherty. I'm a postdoctoral researcher here in Insight, and I'm working on the Paceman project. Paceman is an app that helps you predict a realistic marathon finish time based on your training and race-related variables. It helps you pace that marathon using a course-specific in-race pacing strategy that will give you audio cues, that will give you coaching throughout the race. And then it'll also help you prepare for that marathon. So before you ever get a prediction time or a pacing strategy, it'll generate a training program that'll optimize the likelihood of you achieving the time that you want. The way they recommend you pace a marathon is to do it evenly, and what they'll give you is a bracelet. And on this bracelet, you have your 42 kilometers of the marathon split into equal time segments. And you're expected to run each segment in an equal time span, thus resulting in an even pacing strategy. But that doesn't take into account, at a very basic level, the course gradients. So what we're doing is not only helping people predict their marathon finish time, but then giving them a course-specific pacing strategy to achieve that time. What we'd ask users to do is potentially link their Strava account to this system. So if you're not familiar with Strava, it's a training log tool that people can use to document their runs. And what they can do here is link up their Strava account with the app. And what we can do is take all your Strava data, all the data related to your 5K times, your 10K times, your average weekly distance, that sort of thing, and link it into our prediction system. Now, if I don't use Strava, I can just put these in manually. So what we generate is a maximum time, a minimum time, and a most accurate time. And we let the user decide what time they would aim for. And then I can generate a pacing strategy down here. Now, the pacing strategy that's included in the app at the moment is optimized for London. So all the course gradients and segments are designed for the London course. So if I decide I'm happy with this pacing strategy, I can go into the race mode and I can press start. Every 500 meters or every 2 minutes or so, as they're running along, the app will give them feedback as to their pace. So if they're in a kind of a green zone of their target pace and the pace that you saw on the last screen, they'll get a green alert and they'll be told that they're on target. If they're going a little bit too fast, they might be getting a series of orange alerts. If they get repeated orange alerts, the system will adapt and a new pacing strategy and prediction time will be generated. Similarly, if they're going too slow, they're not feeling too good that day, or for example, London this year was a very, very hot year, and that meant that runners weren't running as fast, they'd be getting a series of light blue alerts. But if they get a sort of a threshold, they get past a certain threshold of light blue alerts, the system will adapt and a new pacing strategy and prediction time will be generated. There are prediction services available, but usually what these prediction services rely on is one or two equations, whereas what we have done is accumulated all the equations that are available in the scientific literature. There's about 150 of them in our system, and that way what you get is not only a single prediction time, but a sort of a minimum time, a maximum time, and a most accurate time. There's a lot of untapped research that really isn't being used by the masses of people interested in marathon running, and that's what we're trying to do. The next steps for Paceman is firstly to validate this concept experimentally. We want to show that by giving someone an in-race coach that they will achieve a faster finish time and they won't hit the wall. We actually attended the London Marathon 2 weeks ago with our system, with a pacing system designed for that race. And we hired floor space at the expo event and we chatted to runners as they went through. They collected their race numbers, they came to our stand, we got some feedback. We saw how excited runners were by this idea of in-race coaching, and we got an idea as to what they want next. So we have an app, it's available on the App Store, it's free, and we're testing it out and we're refining it. We are going to be covering the Edinburgh Marathon next, so we'll be adding a course-specific pacing strategy for Edinburgh as soon as possible. We'll be doing Berlin, we'll be doing Dublin, and we'll just be building up the course-specific pacing strategies that are on the app. Once that experimental validation has been completed, we believe that we've been in a strong position to take this product and to spin out from the university, to set up a company and to start expanding and to realize the various other ideas that we have and that we know that marathoners want based on our discussions with them. With the advent of big data, physiotherapy is one of the medical professions that has benefited from it. In the real world, it's become possible to assess people during their daily lives, which means the behaviors and the things that we're observing are far more realistic and reflective of those people. So it's a very exciting place to be researching in.